Will you be speaking about Platner being a Nazi? Yes, of course I'll be speaking about that as well. Dude, you think this community is going to let me live that down? Are you kidding me? The motherfucker had a totem cough on his chest, dude. Are you kidding me? Don't say we told you. You didn't know he had a totem cough on his chest. I didn't know he had a totem cough on his chest. My analysis would be a little bit different if I knew that. Okay, calm down now. Luckily, as you guys know, I'm a part of the Janet Mills militia. Okay, I'm a part of the Janet Mills militia, and therefore, this kind of stuff doesn't matter to me. Okay, I've already made my most ethical voting decision in Maine. It is one of the most insane, like, for people who are already predisposed with like, oh, this guy's a bad guy, he's fake, he's phony. For you, obviously this is just an I told you so moment. For me, it's like, holy bro, this doesn't get any worse. I mean, quite literally, it doesn't get any worse. It's not even a sort of Nazi tattoo. No, it's just like it is a straight up Nazi tattoo. Like no questions about it. It's probably the third or fourth most common Nazi tattoo beyond like the double bolts and the swastika. You know what I mean? Like swastika is the most obvious one. Double thunderbolts, unless you're Taylor Swift selling a merchandise, is like pretty common. But I would say that like the totem cough one is just like the most insane one. A big part of the reason why I was like on board with him being a genuine person who has like changed and reflected on his like service and stuff like that is one, because I'm not one of those people that insta locks bad behavior or cynicism. But most significantly, it was because like he's a Majority Report fan, he's a Michael Brooks fan. So when you see stuff like that, my expectation is that, you know, this guy, it just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of stuff that he is thrown around that makes no sense, especially considering his background. Right? Nobody comes out and is like, hey, I'm going to be a Medicare for all championing Israel is doing a genocide saying candidate. Because if that was the case, like if people, like when people go, oh, this is like an op, this is a psy-op to divide the left. I'm like, brother, have you seen the left? Have you seen the left? We do not need any psyops to divide us. Everybody hates each other. There is no psyop necessary. People have already decided to psyop themselves for free 99. So for me, I like to weigh out all of the different alternatives here. And for me, up until this incident, which is major, because I think like I'm trying to understand like what is going on. I'm trying to understand what is going on in the mindset of a person that like that goes through this like lived experience. Like how the do you arrive at like the positions you arrive at? But it's pretty crazy. And I think I need to hear his defense of it, but I assume that this is indefensible. Like, what are we doing? This is like how do you not cover that, my man? How the do you not cover that? It just doesn't make sense with any of the other shit that he has presented himself as in his private moments, in his public moments. A guy like this could, if he wanted to, he could just as easily be like, I'm right wing. I'm a combat veteran. I'm hoorah, baby. I'm right wing. You know, he could run in Maine as a right wing guy and probably get a lot of clout. You know what I mean? It was just, I didn't know what it was. I mean, okay, guys, not knowing what the tattoo is when you're initially getting it in Croatia, because some people were saying he was drunk in Croatia, he got the tattoo. That's one thing. Keeping it on your chest without a single person being like, hey, dog, you got a Nazi tattoo on your titty. What the fuck is that about? For like 15 years is crazy. That, like, you don't have a single friend. You didn't have nobody out there who was like, what the fuck is on your chest, my boy? What the hell? That's crazy. Come on, dude. Like, yeah, sure, you didn't know what a totem cough is. Okay, sure, fine. Okay, I guess you don't know. That's one thing. But nobody was like, brother, you need to take care of that ASAP Rocky. Like, this is literally a jailable offense in many European countries. Like what he has as a tattoo, I need you to understand. He don't got friends. He on Reddit. To be fair, all of this is stemming from him being a Redditor. I'm gonna be honest. Platner's political director who resigned weighed in on the tattoo. Platner's political director who resigned over his Reddit post weighs in on the tattoo. Okay, but I don't place a lot of emphasis on this person's attitude because like the Reddit posts are nothing in comparison to Like even the black people don't tip thing was literally like one of those like Reddit posts that I thought he was being racist on, but he was just straight up asking on one of those like, what would you be able to ask if you felt like there was no, like it was one of, I forget what Reddit it was, but it was not even like as bad as I initially thought it was. Bernie Sanders just told us he's still standing behind Graham Platner. His campaign is dogged by controversy and in the Senate race. I personally think he's an excellent candidate. I'm going to support him and look forward to him becoming the next senator in the state of Maine, he said. It is pretty wild for Bernie to do that. I'm going to be honest. Weren't you asking for this yesterday in response to leaked text? But this time there's actual shit on the Dem side. Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I kind of like that there are people who are still firmly committed to this guy. On the other hand, my own personal assessment is like been all over the place. And if you're wondering why Majority Report is defending him and why all these other people are defending him who have talked to him, it's because people think he's legit. Like people think he is legit a guy who just went through these experiences and isn't who a lot of people present him as. Like he's not like a jarhead op federal agent, that he is just like, this is who he is. He is just I can't get over it, man. This is so dumb. I cannot get over it. That is crazy. How the like his format is so perfect. Guy who served, guy who was a jarhead, and then like obviously experiences like discontent, realizes he's like disillusioned by it all. If he hadn't gone the Blackwater route, I would not have any issues whatsoever defending him, right? Like if he did 4 tours and he came out of that being like, dude, what the was I doing? I had no other options, but this shit sucks, and became like an open anti-war veteran type of guy. Perfect guy for the left, okay? Perfect. But then he has Blackwater on the stain as a major stain on his reputation. And then the Reddit stuff I didn't give a shit about. I don't care about that even remotely. A lot of people tried to like make that a big deal. I don't care. Suck my dick. Yeah, he said he said anti-woke, like somewhat anti-woke shit as a jarhead in 2012, as opposed to like how woke he became in 2020. And I don't give a shit about that at all. But 15 years of a Nazi tattoo. What are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing, man? How do you just have that on your chest for 15 years and you don't know what the fuck that is? Like, it does what? Now, it sucks because like all of my ops are his ops as well. And it's like, it's this weird predicament where like, this is indefensible shit, but also at the same time, I can't help but feel as though, you know, Josh Kraushaar of Jewish Insider is obviously doing this not because like he thinks Graham Platner is a Fed. Don't be stupid now. This is Matthew Castle and Josh Kraushaar are my ops at Jewish Insider. They are Zoran's major ops as well. They're my major ops as well. They constantly write articles about my ass too. It's because he's anti-Israel that they're like really farming this. Because if you had a situation where a Republican was outed for something like this, they would never even cover it. They would be like, oh, who cares? If he was a Fed and if people actually saw him as like no threat whatsoever, but like a psy-op or some shit like that, then they wouldn't be doing this. He knows, man, if you have a tattoo, you know the symbolism. That's the whole point of tattoos. If he didn't know when he first got it, he would have looked it up after. No, I know. There is 0% chance that this dude for 15 years never encountered another human being that went, hey, oddly specific Nazi tattoo you have on your chest there. What is more shocking to me about all of this is that he doesn't have a single blemish on his private internet correspondence that even remotely leans into Nazi shit. Like not even a little bit. How is that possible? Like this motherfucker was on Reddit, chat, in 2020. If you have in 2020, he was 13 years in to having a totem cough tattoo on his titty. How the fuck did he not even a little bit say stuff like Black Lives Matter is really fucked up, don't you think? Like not even like a All Lives Matter post. Nothing. How is that possible? Is this the American median voter? Is this where we're at? Like this seems like a meme. Oh, dude, what the fuck? The swastika tattoo, I thought it was like cool. I thought that shit went hard, bro. Like that's why I got it. I didn't realize this was bad. Like how? In some ways, I like that. In a weird way, I like the Democrats are like experiencing some kind of like discipline on this, where they're like, we don't give a like on a purely amoral political grounds, on a purely amoral, like we're playing politics, who gives a style attitude, it's not bad, but I don't, he hit his power level or he's just that stupid. Brother, no one hides their power level like that, because getting a tattoo like that is the opposite of hiding your power level. A guy that has this tattoo, that has this background, should have at some point been like, yeah, I think them migrants are bad. Yeah, all lives matter. This motherfucker was like, Trump supporters are racist. We need an armed revolution. There is no way a dude getting a totem cough tattoo is gonna be that quiet about their perspective. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Okay. It makes no sense, because I look at situations like this and I weigh all the options. On the super left, you have the people who are like, this is a Fed, this is a John Fetterman situation, this is a psy-op, right? This guy is obviously a mercenary. He was designed in a lab to make leftist brains break completely, and he's there to like divide the left, right? I don't put a lot of emphasis on this stuff because personally, I think that's kind of dumb, because like the left has no motion, right? Like we can't even do entryism into the Democratic Party at a time when the Democrats are just like unimaginably weak, right? So I like to personally lean into what I think is the most likely reality here. Like, what is the most likely outcome? But I have never in my life seen someone who has thrown so many different haymakers. He is impossible to decipher, straight up. And I know that sounds like a cop-out for a lot of people who have already made up their minds, because like, obviously, dude, he's Blackwater mercenary, literally has a Nazi tattoo, and you've already been like, oh yeah, the left is experiencing like COINTELPRO again or some shit, right? Because you think that there is that much motion. But I truly don't understand when I like weigh all of his output, his own personal like ideological journey, and where he is, like what he has launched his campaign as, it doesn't make any sense.
Your team actually shared some opposition research on you with me. It's a video from, I believe, a decade ago. Let's just watch an excerpt, and then we should talk about it.
What other tattoos does motherfucker have, man? Are we gonna find out that he has a swastika on his cheek tomorrow? What the I can't get over this, dude. I cannot. Dude, come on, brother. Come the on. A lot of tattoo shops are fully aware what the symbolism is for all these Nazi symbols. Oh, no. The tattoo shop where he got this at, because he said he got it in Croatia, those motherfuckers knew what they were tattooing on his body. It is very, like, what he got is literally illegal in many European states, okay? If he showed that tattoo in Germany, he would go to jail. Do you understand? Now, of course, it might not be illegal in Croatia. Do with that information what you will. I didn't know that, but it's not shocking to me, let's just say. Like, especially if he got this tattoo and then got other tattoos afterwards, there is zero, and I mean 0% chance that he went to another tattoo artist after he got that totem cough in the United States of America, and the tattoo artist didn't go, hey man, I'm going to cover that shit up for you. Not to do more opposition research on Graham Platner here, but if he got another tattoo after that tattoo and he went to a tattoo artist, every single tattoo artist knows prominent neo-Nazi symbols. Every single one. Whether because they like offering said tattoos, or whether it is because they know what tattoos they will not actually ever tattoo on someone's body. Most tattoo artists know one way or another exactly what this is. If he actually got another tattoo after that and the tattoo artist saw it, he would absolutely be like, hey man, I'm just going to let you know, I don't want to be weird, but you have a Nazi tattoo on your chest. Would you like me to cover that up?
First of all, what we were watching there was Graham wearing just his boxer briefs, singing.
The Marine Corps. Silkies. Those are Marine Corps running shorts.
Pardon me, Silkies. First of all, great song choice. Tell us what's happening there, where you are. There's probably some listeners who are very confused. And the reason that we are showing this video is because at the very end, you can see a tattoo on your chest. And I've been told that some of your political opponents are telling reporters that that tattoo has a Nazi affiliation. And I would like to know, is that accurate? Are you a secret Nazi?
I am not a secret Nazi. Actually, if you read through my Reddit comments, I think you can pretty much figure out where I stand on Nazism, and anti-Semitism and racism in general. I would say a lifelong opponent.
This is the craziest part about this is that it's not like that's not a lie, man. Well, the I am not a secret Nazi is also a little bit of a lie, because when you get a totem cloth on your chest, it's not a secret. But if you look at his Reddit comments, Reddit is a hotbed for liberals who have the most Nazi adjacent values when it comes to American imperialism, when it comes to wars, when it comes to opinions on racial dynamics. And this Reddit posts are the opposite. That's why it makes no sense. Do you understand? Like, you look through, as we did, if you comb through his 2020 and onward Reddit posts, there is literally like all of the blemishes on his track record are because he was going too hard on the socialism, communism front. The CIA is cooking with this one. Guys, I don't think the CIA designed a 20-year psy-op to infiltrate the left. This is no longer the 60s and 70s. No, he's just a machine gunner. They are that stupid, I promise. I cannot understand it. I cannot comprehend it, because I have never seen something so transparently signaling in one direction and then simultaneously have his like social media footprint be the exact opposite. It's like someone else was posting on that account. Like, you see a guy, 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, Marine machine gunner, goes into Blackwater in 2018, drops out 6 months in, drops out early, okay? Says, oh, this sucks. I don't like it. And then becomes like extra woke. HasanAbi vindicated? Yeah, me and Janet. Yeah, dude, guys, you already know I'm Janet Mills. I'm a Janet Mills militia member. Let's keep going.
The video is from my brother's marriage to his wife, to my sister-in-law, who I was serenading. I told them that my wedding gift to them would be my embarrassment. And so I performed a lip sync version of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball to my sister-in-law on the day of her wedding to my brother. And now, of course, that embarrassment, which was mostly just held internally in the family, as we always watch that video at family events and laughed, is now shared with the world. So I feel like I'm just going to give them a wedding gift for the rest of my life, which is great. I love them deeply. The reason, by the way, the reason of this video, Saturday was their 10th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
And my sister-in-law was showing everybody the video. And
oh my God. So people around him literally didn't even realize that he had not, like, his sister-in-law posted the video? Are you kidding me? What are white people on, bro? What level are white people on? Do people in Maine just don't understand? Does the family have CTE as well? How is this possible? Like, they were like, haha, look at how embarrassing this is. Meanwhile, people looked at the video and were like, dog, that is a prominent neo-Nazi tattoo on the chest of a dude running for Senate. As a woke guy, by the way, as a leftist, you're just Nazi obsessed for real, for real? No. Am I crazy? Do people only know about the swastika? Do they think that like everything else is just like not? Growing up, I knew about the swastika. I barely knew the double lightning bolts. I didn't know about the skull. You don't get taught that much in school. What the is going on in America? What is happening? How the Okay, we need to run a poll. We need to run a poll. Did you know the totem cough before this incident? Like, we need to run a poll. Let's do it. Let's do a poll in this chat. This is a autistically hyperfixated anti-fascist chat, so obviously it's probably one of the worst places to run this poll on. Okay, get in there. Get in there and let your opinion be known. I need to poll this. Whether we knew about it or does not matter. We didn't put it on our chest for 2 decades and still have it? No, I know. This is not about that, man. I'm German and I wasn't taught about this in school either. What? Dog, that is literally illegal in your country. That is straight up an illegal thing in your country. Do you think it would have been more recognizable with the shield? No, 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 no. Straight up. The skull itself is absolutely a prominent, third most prominent neo-Nazi figure. Yeah, it's literally the joke in the Are We the Baddies sketch, man.
Very well. They're coming. Now we'll see how these Russians deal with a crack SS division.
Hans?
Have courage, my friend.
Yeah. Hans, I've just noticed something.
These communists are all cowards.
Have you looked at our caps recently?
Our caps?
The badges on our caps. Have you looked at them?
What? No. A bit?
They've got skulls on them. Have you noticed that our caps have actually got little pictures of skulls on them?
I don't,
Hans, are we the baddies?
The Are We the Baddies joke comes from the totem cough. Like, if he got the fucking skull with the knife in the mouth, like, even that is like a lesser known fascist symbol, right? If he got the fascies on his chest, that is a lesser known fascist symbol. The totem cough is, I thought, not a less known fascist symbol, but it seems a lot of Americans didn't know what it was. Drunk Marine went into a Croatian tattoo shop and picked the scary skull as a believable story in absence of any other evidence. He holds these views, but them Canada has a Nazi tattoo is a pretty easy to message against them and objectively true. Exactly. Americans, by and large, don't like Nazis. Even Americans who have identical opinions to Nazis don't like Nazis. I can't stress this enough. This is precisely the reason why Nazis will, quote unquote, hide their power level. Right? And oftentimes they can't stop themselves from hiding their power levels unless seemingly you're Graham Platner, who seemingly has, under the guise of anonymity, said the exact opposite things that a Nazi would say, while simultaneously having, this tattoo on his chest for 20 years almost. What did the poll end up at? 60% of chat said they didn't know, and 40% of chat said they knew, which is kind of surprising. I thought it would be higher. Like, I thought the people would, a higher percentage of people would say they know what it is. Anyway, let's finish this.
Yeah, there it is. There's me being embarrassed. But what we also, so in 2007, I was a machine gun section leader with Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines. We were on the 2-2 Mu. And it was my third deployment. My previous two had been to Fallujah and then Ramadi, 2006. And we went ashore in Split, Croatia, myself and a few of the other machine gun squad leaders. And we got very inebriated. And we did what Marines on liberty do, and we decided to go get a tattoo. And we went to a tattoo parlor in Split, Croatia, and we chose a terrifying looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines, and skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing. And we got those tattoos, and then we all moved on with our lives. And I actually joined the Army after that, where I got, I had to go to MEPS. I got screened. Later on, I got a security clearance and a full screen.
Yeah, that's an indictment on the military, man. This tracks, but these online chatters think this is something new. No, I mean, the military screened him. And literally we're like, oh, it's just another one of those guys. Like, that's crazy. God damn it, the American military is so fucking insane. No wonder they have like Atomwaffen all up and down the military's dick, okay? Holy shit, dude. They were like, oh, welcome. You're among fellow travelers, sir. Classic. Oh, you got the totem cough. I personally chose the SS variety, but very cool. God, I don't know. I feel like we're making a big deal about this, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I think under normal circumstances, this would be somewhat of a big deal. Come on. You have a Democrat running for a Senate seat with a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest. Like, what the But I guess like American politics is so busted and so out of whack that it just kind of doesn't matter. I mean, I think if you're looking at his chances, at best, this doesn't like entirely tank him, because like most Americans, I guess, didn't know, and he could just like get away with like, I didn't know, right? But from my perspective, this ties everything else up in a very weird way. It's just, so we got to choose between a potential Nazi or a corpse. Love that for Maine. I mean, potential former Nazi. I don't know anymore, man. What the is happening? Oh my Lord. Yeah, he's gotta come out and be like, this is completely unacceptable, and it covered that shit up.
I worked for the State Department as a contractor doing security for the ambassador to Afghanistan in 2018. And I've also just lived my entire life like a regular person with the skull and crossbones on their chest, which by that I mean taking my shirt off, performing Miley Cyrus songs in front of my extended family, and to my sister-in-law, and just taking my shirt off at the beach.
Anyway, YouTube comments seemingly are on board with him, regardless. I can't imagine listening to this guy speak and hearing him articulate his evolution, then thinking, nah, let's go with a 79-year-old woman who would only serve one term, assuming she isn't annihilated by Susan Collins. Oh, Lord, if someone went through my post-history, I'd die. If we excommunicate people forever, if they ever say something bad, no one will ever have the motivation to get better. The voters need to attract the creative working-class majority, all had or still have unideal views on many things. The video might be the most infantry thing he's ever done. I'm 75 years old and I think about blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, are we really going to worry about this? His or any other Democrats' comments when we have a president, vice president, cabinet spouting the worst stuff you could ever hear on a daily basis. These comments are what HasanAbi sounds like, Lamau. It's one of those situations where I think it's like relatively healthy for liberals to have this kind of attitude in the direction of someone who is at the very least like saying that they're at the very least someone who is saying that they're like pro Medicare for all and shit, rather than someone like Janet Mills, right? Because in the past, liberals used to take this attitude towards people like Janet Mills. And now they're taking this attitude towards people who are significantly to the left of people like Janet Mills. If you are not accepting of imperfect allies who get perfect enemies, let's let people learn from their mistakes. I appreciate him saying, I just didn't know what I was talking about, and having worked in food service for years. I'm so glad you had Graham on the show. Great guy and leader. I'm not a Mainer, but if I were, I'd be Platner, door knocker. Don't let them tear you down. I'm very pro-Graham, but apparently the skull tattoo is legit SS imagery. He should do something about that. If you take the tattoo in his policy positions, the dude is a centrist. Wait, what? Okay, this is what I mean. We need to compartmentalize certain things, okay? In the absence of the tattoo, if you just straightforwardly look at his policy positions and you think he's a centrist, you are out of your mind. I'm sorry. No liberal, no... I guess that's the joke though, right? Like the joke is that, yeah, he's just canceling each other out. Where he's like pro-immigration, pro-Medicare for all. The tattoo brings him back. He just snaps him back here. This is what we needed. The true center. Guy who says he's a commie socialist when no one is looking also has a prominent Nazi tattoo on his chest.
Right, presumably going to the beach, yeah.
I mean, I went to college. I went to the gym. I did all the things. And at no point in this entire experience of my life did anybody ever once say, hey, you're a Nazi. It never came up until we got wind that in the opposition research, somebody was shopping the idea that I was a secret Nazi with a hidden Nazi tattoo. And I can honestly say that if I was trying to hide it, I've not been doing a very good job for the past 18 years.
Yeah.
So
you're a self-described communist, but also a Nazi.
I will say the fact that I've managed to go from communist to Nazi in the space of 4 days, according to the people who are trying to, do this to me, I find to be quite a spectacular turn of events. But
because the person that seen it in the gym didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo or didn't care to comment. No, I just I don't understand, man. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand it.